why, in general, why is Napoli a very variegated and different city? Because after the Greeks and the Romans, there were many other dominations in the southern Italy. The Normans, the Swabians, the Angevins, the Aragons, French, Spanish and Austrian dominators, the Bourbons, and in 1861 the Neapolitan kingdom was added to Italy, the newborn nation. So each domination left a deep mark in our culture, in the language, in the food, in the clothing style, and of course in the architecture too. That's why in the city of Naples it's possible to see many different neighborhoods, many different districts, and very often also in the same square there are completely different buildings, private or public buildings, but living in perfect harmony side by side. So now we are leaving the port of Naples. I told you the port is the harbor of Naples is very big, because there is the tourist port, the commercial area that we are crossing now, the military port, and then there is a port for the locals where all the Neapolitans have their private boats. But now we are leaving the port of Naples and we are going to take the highway to go straight to Sorrento. More or less in 1 hour and 15 we'll be in Sorrento. This highway is the oldest one in Italy. Was built in 1929 and during the fascism, and it's completely made of lava rocks. Lava rocks are volcanic rocks erupted by Mount Vesuvius, the still-active volcano, during the centuries. Probably we will see many work in progress along the highway, because the workers are improving the new evacuation plan in case of an eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Now, if you look at your left side, you can see a set of skyscrapers. They are the only skyscrapers in the southern Italy, because as you can see, our public or private buildings are not too high, 2, 3, 4 and maximum of 5 floors. In that case, there are some skyscrapers because they were built by Japanese architect Kenzo Tange in 1994 with the aim to reduce the traffic jam in the city, because there are just offices inside, but completely in vain, for nothing. Now there is no traffic because it's a Saturday morning, many people are on the beach, but usually there is a lot of traffic here. But now, if you look at on the right, you can see the most important element in the Neapolitan Bay, in the Neapolitan Gulf, Mount Vesuvius, the still active volcano. So, from this position, we can see two tops, two peaks. The mount on the left is not active and it's Mount Somma. Even if Mount Somma is not active, it's an important mountain because it was the original crater where the famous eruption in 79 AD, which destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum, two very important archaeological parks, went out. Just the mountain on the right is still active and it's Mount Vesuvius. So, as you can see, Mount Vesuvius is not too high, only 1,200 meters above sea level. But Mount Vesuvius is one of the 5 most dangerous volcanoes in the world. The first one is a Yellowstone in the States. Then there are other volcanoes in Japan or in Indonesia. And then there is Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius is very dangerous for two reasons. First of all, because Mount Vesuvius is an explosive volcano. Because the volcanoes could be divided in two types. They are or effusive, when they explode very often, and so the eruptions are not violent. There is only slow floating lava. They are explosive when they sleep for a long time, and so the pressure of the underground magma become very strong, and so the eruptions are always violent. Mount Vesuvius is also dangerous because there are 2 million people living around it. And in fact, now we are crossing the red zone, where it's very dangerous to live because of the proximity to Mount Vesuvius. While the city of Naples is the yellow zone, because in case of an eruption, we don't know in which direction the wind can move the light pyroclastic materials, for example, ash, pumice, and lapilli. While Sorrento Peninsula, on the other side of the bay, is the green zone, because it's 47 kilometers far from Mount Vesuvius, so it's absolutely safe to live there. And even if Mount Vesuvius is very dangerous, between Mount Somma and Mount Vesuvius there is a short hill. On top of that hill there is a white rectangular building. Today it's not visible because of the fog, the clouds. However, that building is very important. First of all, there is a beautiful museum where it's possible to study all the minerals found on the volcano. Then there is a big library with all the books written about Mount Vesuvius. But above all, there are many researches from the Neapolitan University. They check any breath of Mount Vesuvius 24 hours. Not only, they also study the animals living on Mount Vesuvius, because we know that the animals are the first to smell poisonous gases. Or they check the temperature of the water, because if the water on Mount Vesuvius is too hot, it means the magma, the fire, is very close to the soil. So probably we will know 3 or 4 months before the next eruption. Our problem is that in case of an eruption, it's possible to escape only by cars or by helicopters. Absolutely not by boats, because of the sea quake. The sea quake is a sort of tsunami with very high waves. And the helicopters are too expensive for 2 million people. So we can escape only by cars. And I suppose that's our problem, because as you can see, our streets are not too large. So try to imagine 2 million people driving along our streets. I'm sure we will die because of traffic, not because of Mount Vesuvius. Yes, probably that's why we drink a lot of wine, so just in case we are ready, we die happy. And the last eruption placed in 1944, during the World War II. The American Marines were here to save the Italians from Hitler, Mussolini. They made a video about the last eruption. It's possible to see it on YouTube, black and white, of course. In that occasion, there weren't too many victims, because the people were already in the underground galleries, tunnels, because of the bombings. Now, if you look at on the right, on the other side, you can see in the distance Capri Island. I'll show you again in further. So Capri Island is one of the 5 Neapolitan islands. Capri Island is the only one to be in front of Sorrento Peninsula. The other 4 islands, Ischia, Vivara, Procida and Nisida, are in front of Naples on the other side. Excuse me, now we are crossing Torre del Greco. Torre del Greco is where I live, so as you can see I live very close to the volcano. The other 4 islands in front of Naples have volcanic origins, because Mount Vesuvius is not the only active volcano in this area. The second one is in front of Naples, and its name is Solfatara. In that case, there are no mountains like Mount Vesuvius, but 56 craters under the sea level. They emit a lot of gases. The most important is the sulfur. That's why Solfatara, from sulfur. Sulfur has a not a good smell, like rotten eggs, but it's absolutely perfect for the respiratory system or for the skin. That's why in front of Naples, on the 4 islands, there are many public and free thermal baths, the spa, the wellness centers for the sauna. Capri Island, in front of Sorrento Peninsula, is the only one not having volcanic origins, because 10,000 years ago Capri was not an island, but was connected to Sorrento Peninsula. Became an island because of the karstic phenomenon. Because Capri Island is made of limestones, and by the erosion of the limestones, because of the water and the wind, Capri became an island. Nowadays, it's very important tourist place where many famous people from the States or from everywhere are used to spend their vacation. For example, tonight there is the Jennifer Lopez in a concert, or I don't know, there are sometimes Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Angelina Jolie and Shakira and so on. Capri is also famous for the Blue Grotto. It's a beautiful natural cave.